Oh yeah,
That's right.
I'm back. Once again. Talking some shit. Just want to make a quick shout out to Cartier boys, or Cartier family, I think they're called. Yes, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but the Cartier family, want to make a shout out to them. They fucking get this shit. They really do. They see it. They see it. That's exactly how it is. Yep, that's exactly right. And I also want to fucking make a shout out to Nuxanor, or whatever the fuck I think his name is. I don't. Anyway, I clicked on his video talking about the same shit. That like it's that interview or whatever the fuck that everybody's talking about that Trump did, where he was calling out their shit, and it's just like watching this dumbass take the most ridiculous, retarded take that unironically, the Cartier family right here, they're watching news anchors talk that same shit that Nux is talking. It's actually insane. Like he's a literal libtard. It's fucking nuts. By the way, he's kind of shady. Just saying. He doesn't. He likes to try to draw attention away from it, but he's had some shady past dealings. I mean, I don't know what it's indicative of, but shady and in the past, yes, it was. How current? Is it bleeding into today? Possibly. I don't know. Does it matter? Possibly. Depends on what it was. Depends on what happened. Because, I mean, fucking with kids is just... Come on. Like, the thing is, there shouldn't really be... There's no way to, like, explain that away. You know what I mean? Like, if you're fucking with kids. Like, if you're... Like... If you're genuinely doing that shit, there's no explaining it. There's just really no explaining it. Now, I can understand where maybe a certain bad looking accident may happen. I'm not making any excuses. But what I'm saying is, I've seen anime. Yes, I get that it's not real, but guess what? I've seen shit in reality that's crazier than what you'd see in anime. And I think that if you've lived enough life and if you've seen enough things, you'd probably be able to say it's the same thing. Either that or you live in quite a little small bubble. This world's nuts. In fact, I mean, the only thing about anime is that it's highly dramatized. That's one thing. But real life is way crazier than what an anime can portray, I'm telling you. So, yeah. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, niggas who are fucking disconnected from reality, of which the Cartier family is not, but Nuxanor is. Severely. As well as his Asmongold and many of the other people. And, you know, you can see because, what's his name, Charlie? He had that take and instantly quit the internet, which is crazy because he was probably the biggest shit talker ever, other than probably Keemstar and Leafy. Probably the biggest shit talker. And although he didn't really make a career out of it, he kind of did make a career out of it by not really being direct in any... He never really hit people up. Well, all he ever really did was just repeat what everyone else was saying. And then just kind of compile it and then make a video where he basically rattles it off on a script, more or less. While adding a few kind of interesting zingers that, I mean, some of them were interesting. Some of them were straightforward. And some of them were pretty creative. I think it was only him that could come up with it, which is what made him unique and entertaining. And still does. And, you know, he's going to have that hardcore following, and his hardcore following is going to be huge. But one thing many people instantly realized is how out of touch he actually is. And it's not even, it goes beyond just being out of touch. It's either that or it was a very large misunderstanding that had actually happened, which I think he doubled down on it, so I don't know what to say. Like double, triple down. And the thing is, a lot of your favorite streamers feel the same way about that shit. And it really isn't until that like shit gets called out, you know? Because like what I'll say is, mr.beast was in on that shit, but like as soon as like he had to respond, he's like okay, and then he, you know, they do the song and dance. They all do that until they're pressed, and either they say nothing or they completely leave the internet. Sometimes you'll get them to lash out, but not many people are Keemstar. Okay, so not many people will do that. But the thing is about Keemstar, he's just a genuine fucking troll. Like that's really more or less what it comes down to. It's I don't know what his actual opinions are, but he's just basically just trolling. You know, even if he says some really offensive shit, nobody really cares too much because he's just trolling. Like that, it's like if you give him the attention, that's what that's why he's doing it. That's why he's doing it, which is completely different from Charlie because he's for one, he's not an opinion poster. He's a shit poster. And then when he posted his first opinion, it was so fucking bad that he left the internet. I mean, it's just fantastic, you know what I mean? And then Nexonor just doesn't even respond, just pretends like the shit isn't even fucking happening. I mean, obviously I don't know how much they are responding, but they did respond. But it may just be a situation of, oh well, fuck it, he's just, you know. It's basically like if you keep mentioning it, you're gaslighting yourself over a period of time because his hardcore fan base is going to be sucking his cock, and then they're going to start defending him at some point in the comments. Whereas in certain videos, which was right after it happened, where he didn't address it, it was kind of like the thing to do. Doesn't make sense, but you know, time goes on. I mean, most people overreact about shit anyway. And I'm not saying that Nuxanor necessarily did anything wrong, but I'm just saying, look, I said this in a previous video. You gotta look at the wider context. It's not just this one particular thing in a vacuum. I mean, I'm not saying it looks bad, but... And I'm not even necessarily saying he has any explaining to do. But what I am saying is... don't expect people to not look at you differently. That's all. And if they have a less than favorable opinion, and you talk your shit like you used to before, and not as many people give a fuck, and the people who do give a fuck, they like don't give as much of a fuck because you turn into kind of a little bit of a destiny, a little bit. I say a little bit, and I'm not being facetious. I really mean a little bit. Like it's not a much, but just that little bit is enough to poison the fucking well enough to where people are like, oh, okay, I see what this is. I shouldn't actually take him seriously. He's kind of just like a character, you know? That's pretty much disconnected from reality. That's what they'll assume it to be, and that's what it is. Whereas there's people like the Cartier family where they really fucking... Well, I don't know when they blew up. I don't know how long it's been. But I know that they did come from humble beginnings. So they know what it's like. And I'm not necessarily saying that Nuxanor or anybody else didn't either. I mean, Kevin Hart did, and look at him. He's a fucking shill, bro. He's a fucking Illuminati motherfucker. I don't know if he's a Satanist. But he is in the fucking Illuminati, and he's powerful. I'll say that much. He's very, very influential. He means a lot to them, to the congregation, as they may call it. Possibly, I don't know what they would call it. What do the Jews call it? Not sure. Anyway, whatever they call it is what it's called. For some reason. Hey, I mean, conspicuous, inconspicuous. Look, man, make your own opinions. I just spit facts. People may or may not agree, But if you disagree, then, I mean, with just the facts. Now, I like what I may say about the facts, you know, take with a grain of salt, because that's one man's opinion. Because, you know, like, this is what I'll say. Is it a fact that Sneako is a Muslim and he is sitting here advocating for being involved with children? Is that a fact? How do you feel about that? It's one man's opinion. Do you see what I mean? But it is a fact. Yes, it's a fact. At this current point in time, that is how things are. Yes, true. Very true. But one person feels like he's featuring and another person wants to make conversation with him. Not facetiously and in under any false pretenses. Just a conversation. Like, really wanting to fucking understand this shit. Or maybe you don't even want, just kind of maybe like, why? What, like, have you ever done it? And he's like, oh, no, I haven't. But, you know, religion and blah, blah, blah. So he's like, so are you even into that? I mean, like, no, not really. But, like, you know, I see people do it. It says that you can do it in the book. I get it. Whatever. Oh, so it's just, like, sophistry. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Cult-like behavior. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But if he's, like, using it as an excuse, which the cuties thing, I'm not advocating for him. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm trying to make people understand the potentialities of nuance, which is the thing about Dr. Disrespect. I kind of wanted to start my YouTube channel sooner than this, but I didn't and I wanted to because of the Dr. Disrespect thing. I really wanted to, but I didn't because it wasn't time. But I'm gonna say it now. And I think this was about 2 months ago. Maybe it was whenever it first came out. And everyone's jumping down his throat. I'm like, nobody actually knows what the fuck happened. The only people that know what happened are the people that were there, and none of them are talking. And the thing that I'll say about it, all the circumstances point to the fact that it isn't. Because the thing is, people like this do not get away with this. They get buried. And the fact that they're jumping down his throat and not allow... It's what the internet does, and he understands that. And he comes back the instant he feels like everyone's over that shit. And they kind of are. And he comes back with zingers, because he can. It's not like he couldn't do that before. Because you know the doc. You've seen how he operates. But it's not like he couldn't do that before. It's just that it probably wasn't the best place to do that. You know? Instead, he made a show of force and a show of force in terms of solidarity. Basically, to just be like, stand strong, boys. I'll be back. And he peaced out for a month or two, came back, talking his shit. He's like, so, y'all saw the real monster nigga over here fucking messing with kids, right? You saw him. Okay, cool. You see how he's like protected and shit, and I wasn't? And how actually niggas were coming after me, but they really wasn't anything. It was a genuine mistake. That's true. I don't disagree. In fact, I came out and said that immediately. Like, this is what I'll say. He came and took responsibility. And what the fuck does everyone else do whenever there actually is some fucking fuck shit going on? What do they do? Oh, you saw. You saw what happened. Even people that have horrendous opinions that were involved tangentially in this, just by virtue of being in his video very, very recently. Of course, I'm referring to the Mr.Beast situation. And just like everyone just goes fucking radio silent. Nobody says shit. And the people who do say shit, they're the people who everyone fucking wants to hear from right now, which is as crazy as it fucking sounds, right? This is what's weird as fuck. Keemstar's pretty big. He's always had his following, but like, people are listening to what the fuck he has to say. Nick Merckx is actually having like a political commentary channel now for some. It's wild, you know. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy. And the timing with Drake and Kendrick and all that shit, it's just wild. And having the now, it's so wild. Now, Pac God, you're gonna have to apologize. It was uncalled for, and it was you jumped the gun. And it should have been about mr.beast, but it wasn't. It was about someone who is just edgy, and edged a little too hard this time. Pun non-intended. Okay, it ain't even like that, actually. And that's the whole fucking point. That was the whole point. Do you see what I did there? Doc would see what I did there. It's fucking brilliant, okay? I literally told you what it was. That's exactly what it was. I swear to fucking God. And if it wasn't, then I'll shoot myself in the face. Just kidding. See, I don't even know if this can go up on YouTube. But the thing is, look at my account name. Does it seem as though I care? Of course I care. That's why I'm saying this. Come on. Okay. Time to go. Bye.